Welcome to the year 2020. In history, this year would be remembered as a COVID 19 year. This is due to the presence of the virus called coronavirus. The entire globe is under shutdown. And what is this COVID virus is all about? What is the myth and what is the fact which is about this coronavirus? The reason is the physician sees patients in their clinic and they interpret these patients, which is increase in the clinic, as a reflection of the entire country is getting bad. Because the clinicians are not exposed to the entire country. This is the work of epidemiologists, or if you want to know the detail about the virus transmission pattern, everything is to be to the virologist. When both of them are not involved and only the clinician is making to go a decision, this is what will happen, because they lived in the four walls, and a small clinic or a nursing home or a hospital, and their entire experience is depend upon this small area. So we cannot implement the small suggestion coming from a clinician into a national level, which is almost lead to a lockdown and the entire collapse of the economy. But of course, if it is done for the welfare of the patients or the people, it should be accepted. But now let's look at it. What is the fact really happened? Now, as an initial strategy, it's not only in India, the entire world come up with some strategy. Number one is social distancing. Number two, stay home and wash your hand, don't cough, and the lockdown. So all these things are the slew of measure which is being followed not only in India but to the entire country. Now look at the social distancing. Now we say 1 meter. 1 meter, it should be the distance between everybody, which is almost 6 feet. Now, surprisingly, is it a fact, and why the virus will not jump over 1 meter, or its efficiency is within that 1 meter? Nobody knows. Now, how did you arrive at this 1 meter? It's actually, I think in 1938, the study was done in American Medical Association. It's actually a fluid hemodynamics group. They found out a virus has a capability of almost 8.2 meter, which is 27 feet. It can able to transmit. I mean, if you say the social distancing has to be 8.2 meter, I think in country in India, nobody can stay home, because the home will be less than 8.2 meter in width. So practically it is not possible. Then initially I think most of the studies were done in tuberculosis, which was really a disease of concern, which is contagious. So whenever most of the studies are done with tuberculosis, they decided at a social distancing of 3 meter. But in 2003, the pandemic of SARS, it's been extended into 1 meter or 6 feet. Now this has been followed up for the COVID also. So number one, we don't have any proper evidence whether this 1 meter will work. And second is your other measures, lockdown and everything. So putting all this thing together, let us be realistic. If this all things seems to work, I mean, I wish it works, but I'm sorry. I think in reality it may not. The reason is, it's very easy to find out. Now you have a lockdown, and we all speak about, or we all discuss about something called flattening the curve of COVID-19. What is this flattening of the curve? Basically, when you do all these measures, is your social distancing, not getting out of the home, washing your hand, the virus transmission should cut down and the number of cases increase, or the prevalence should drastically come down and should reach as a plateau. But now the lockdown is on. Now the only evidence to show all these things works is if the flattening of the curve occurs during the lockdown. Yes, we are right. What has been done is correct. But remember, if this flattening of the curve happens only after the lockdown is released, then it is the other way is true. It is not that social distancing and lockdown has worked. It is actually the herd immunity. When the number of people infected goes very high and it reaches certain 50 to 60% of the population, automatically the herd immunity, it means the people who got the disease got immune to the virus, spread their immunity to the others, and finally the curves will flatten out. That is a flattening of the curve. So if the flattening of the curve occurs after the lockdown, then the other way is around is right. So the disease is controlled not by all the measures we took. It is controlled only when we release all the population to all the population came out of the house, and then it reaches the flattening of the curve. And the second one is test. So it's been proposed in India. Since I'm from India, I want to speak more about India than other countries. We speak about testing, and then our bureaucrats and political masters imported millions and millions of dollars has been sent abroad to bring out the testing equipment from Korea, from Singapore, from China, from USA, all to do testing. Now, let us look at the logistic of why we do the testing. Initially, the test concept originated in the Western countries because they believe that testing the high risk group means elderly people who are having comorbid illness like renal failure, heart failure, pneumonia, and people who are on immunosuppressive drug. These are all the group who are considered to be a high risk. If they contract this coronavirus, then the mortality is very high in this group. So they decided to test this high risk group, segregate these people and quarantine them. That's an idea. But in India, the first initial step we took down is lockdown. So when we come up to the lockdown, again going and testing, it doesn't look logical, or it doesn't follow anything which is there to prevent the spread of the disease. Now look at this. When you test, because let us go to the way of testing. So if you keep testing and a patient turns to be positive and asymptomatic, because 80 to 90% of the COVID patients are asymptomatic. Now what you're going to do, you're going to tell them quarantine yourself at the home. But lockdown, you already quarantined the entire country. When your entire country is quarantined, what is the reason for you to test again? And anyway, you know when you do the testing, you're going to look at a lot of people asymptomatic. And what would you do with these asymptomatic patients? Now, the second question came is, initially it has been projected, we should quarantine these people not at home, let them bring it to the hospital and quarantine them in a better environment than in the home. Now this will lead to a disaster. Now it's my opinion, but once a fact comes out, you will see in the media the people who have been admitted in the hospital will be moved out to the home or other areas. Now the question is, the whole definition of hospital itself has been ridiculed. Now what is hospital? Hospital is a place where the people who are ill, where they will not be able to take care in the home because of the equipment required to support them, or IV injection which cannot be done all in home. So we move the sick group of people into hospital and treat them. Now when the COVID asymptomatic patients are perfectly fine. When you bring these people with asymptomatic coronavirus to the hospital, now there is a lot of trouble, because they need to be given food, they have to be given a healthy food, some entertainment facilities should be available to them, and it is ridiculous because you cannot convert a hospital into a marriage hall or a party hall. Now you couldn't differentiate the hospital between this, because the reason is these people are asymptomatic, healthy people, and they want food, they want healthy food, they are looking for entertainment, and there is a chaos everywhere. Now they have to be shifted outside. This is going to happen today or tomorrow, because you cannot hold these healthy people in the hospital. Now this is another disaster is going to happen very soon. And another one is ventilators. Now initially when the coronavirus came, there was a huge demand for ventilator. And we don't know, this requirement ventilator should be based on some fact. I mean, the government, before spending so much millions of money in ventilator, they should have done some pilot study, look at the incidence of the disease, whether many of these patients are going for a critically ill or many of them are asymptomatic. Even in the initial phase of the disease, we know that the number of people require ventilator is very low, because 80 to 90% of the patients are asymptomatic and only 10% of them are required admission. In that, a very low number, 2 to 3% only require ventilator. Now in spite of that, if you look at in Tamil Nadu or the entire world, the requirement of ventilator is very, very low, because very less number of people require this ventilator support. Now this is also seemed to be a farce. And second is, whenever you look at the reports, they talk about, I mean, you go online, there is a lot of information is available, how many patients are test positive in Chennai or Tamil Nadu, in Gujarat, Maharashtra, even in Spain, Italy. Everywhere the test number of people who are positive, number of people who are recovered, number of people who are dead has been reported normally in all the website. But what it is not been reported is number of tests done in that group. Now recently, I think in 8th of May, ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, has announced 14 lakhs tests has to be done. At that point of time, the number of people diagnosed with coronavirus is probably around 50,000 people. So the prevalence rate is only around 3 to 4%. And if you look at the death at that point of time, around 1,500 plus, the mortality rate is very low, 3%. So with the presence of this low mortality and the presence of low prevalence of the disease, there is no requirement for a national lockdown at the current scenario of in which the disease is behaving right now. And it is very frustrating. Then what I do is I called up some of my doctors, colleagues. As a physician, I called some of my colleagues to show my frustration. I asked them, look, I mean, why it has been so severely affecting the entire nation? Then most of the physicians replies to me in a really surprising way. They said, doctor, you don't know, I have seen death in my clinic, my hospital. There are people who are dying because of coronavirus. Now death is something very dramatic. Whether you believe it or not, every physician will be emotionally disturbed when they heard the word death or when they see the patient die in front of them. Now the question is it death did not happen before? It is only during the COVID period the death is happening? Now pneumonia or any cholera, malnutrition, people dying because of stroke. This death is also happening, but nobody took concern of them. But suddenly during this corona period, every death is a problem. When you talk about the death and it is properly is due to corona, then we call it as a virulence of the strain. Now even all the data which is supporting the mortality is rising the worldwide. If you look at carefully, it is an elderly, more than 80 plus, or the patient with comorbid disease had a high mortality rate. Now there is a dilemma. Now let us look at the simple scenario. A guy who is having a renal failure, probably for 10 years he's in dialysis, and probably in the past 6 months he required 4-5 times dialysis a day and is almost in the end stage. He dies, and then we do a blood test and we find out there is a corona positive. Now I want to ask whether the death is because of the virulence of the strain of corona or it is because of the nature of his disease. So every patient, whether you are a renal failure or a heart failure or a pneumonia or a stroke, or you have been admitted for certain appendicitis, any operative procedure, you might be corona positive because corona is a flu. It will spread fast to everybody. But it doesn't mean because the patient is corona positive, his death is also attributed to corona. So this is a false assumption that all death is because of coronavirus. And then I went to the group chat, and there are a lot of group chats because 200-300 physicians. So I just went and tried to chat in this group about corona. In surprise, I mean in the past 1 month, paper after paper, it is only about coronavirus. All the physicians, all the experts, and many of the experts, their expertise would be equal to my age. They're all talking about coronavirus. Now it seems there is no disease that corona will not cause. For example, heart disease patient with corona, heart failure patient with corona, coronary artery disease with patient, hypertension patient with corona, and then cholera patient with corona, malaria patient with corona, rheumatoid arthritis patient with corona, renal failure with corona. So every disease which humankind has known has now been linked to corona. And nobody cared whether it is an incidental finding that corona also happened to be there in this disease, or this disease is being worsened by corona. So all these things put together, it is make many of the decision irrational, and all this will end. Now the evidence, now all my talk, it should be proven beyond doubt. So finally, when the evidence emerges out, two things, as I said, the lockdown, whether the flattening of the curve occurred during the lockdown or the flattening of the curve is happening after the lockdown. Second, the mortality rate true mortality rate will only know when we know the prevalence rate. So more tests you do, more number of people you diagnose, less will be the mortality rate. So finally you come up with a number less than 1%, which is equivalent to flu, because The disease spread is also similar to the flu, and you cannot avoid contracting the disease by lockdown. The reason is the virus can be preserved in the nature, in the plastic or in your glass or in your steel for 5 to 9 days. So there is no way you can avoid contracting the virus. People will get infected, but the flattening of the curve happened after the lockdown. Then it is a proof all the social distancing didn't work. And then when you know the real prevalence rate and mortality rate, and if the mortality rate is projected less than 1%, then it is all as a proof it is an unknown fear which is being caused. And third more important thing is death. When you look at this mortality, and when you decide to write in your case sheet COVID-19 positive mortality, then it is counted as a death because of COVID. Now I will tell you, you pick up all the mortality list and look at the comorbid illness. I would say you should rule out previous surgery or patient with diseases which can lead to fatality with a survival rate of 2 to 3 years. So if all these things are pulled together, then most of the disease would be because of the disease itself which the patient had, whether it is a coronary or it's a renal or it's a stroke or because of the infection or surgical resist, all these things. It's not purely because of the coronavirus. So this will also be evidence whether I am right or because of the data, because it's right now, as long as this data comes out, what I have spoken, it is only an opinion, but the fact will emerge when all these results comes out. So whatever it is, it's looked like a dance. We've been doing it for almost 2 months. It's not only in India, the entire world. And in fact, I spoke to some of this so-called spiritual and religious leader. They call this as a cosmic dance, which has been triggered by the God themselves. But I don't know whether it is because of God, but I believe maybe it is because of something to do with somebody wants to control the economy, or it is because of somebody want to control the trade, or somebody wants to stimulate the war. It is something which is much more beyond what COVID is actually proposed for. So I think it's given you some information about myth and the fact about corona. Thank you.